January 2026. The U.S. Air Force attacked an underground nuclear facility in Iran. The bomb they dropped weighed 30,000 pounds. But the most surprising thing was that the bomb had no engine, no fuel, no propeller, no rocket, only gravity. Still, that bomb penetrated deep into the ground. How? This is the magic of kinetic energy. In this video, we will understand how mass and speed change the map of war, with real war examples and modern weapons from Iran, Israel, Ukraine, and future space weapons. So stay tuned. First, let us understand what kinetic energy is. In school, we learn Ke equals half mass times velocity squared. That is, Ke equals sine 1/2 mv quadrate. Now here is the most important thing. If you double the mass, energy becomes 2 times. But if you double the speed, energy becomes 4 times. This is why in modern weapons, being heavy is not enough. Being fast is much more important. This formula decides how much damage a bullet will do, how deep a bomb will go, and how destructive a missile will be at impact. You see this in everyday life too. Throw a cricket ball slowly, and it causes a mild injury. Throw the same ball fast, and the pain increases a lot. Take the example of a car crash. At 30 kilometers per hour, the car gets slightly damaged. But at 80 kilometers per hour, the same car can be completely destroyed, because as speed increases, energy increases very rapidly. Iran had built some of its nuclear facilities deep inside mountains and rocks. America had special bunker buster bombs for this, like the GBU-57. Its mass is about 13,000 kilograms. It is dropped from a B-2 bomber from high altitude, reaching speeds of hundreds of kilometers per hour. Now let us do the math. 13,000 kilograms mass, 220 meters per second speed, about 500 miles per hour. Kinetic energy equals half times 13,000 times 220 squared. That is approximately 310 million joules. 1 joules of energy can lift a 1-ton truck 300 meters high. So this bomb can lift 31 trucks to that height at once. When this bomb hits the ground, its speed becomes 0 in a very short time, let us say 1/100th of a second. This impulse pushes rocks like a fluid. The bomb penetrates 200 feet, which is about 60 meters deep. Pause and think. If the speed of this bomb is doubled, how many times will its kinetic energy increase? The answer is 4 times. This is why armies constantly work on increasing the speed of their weapons. Tell me in the comments, if the speed becomes 3 times, how many times will the energy become? During the Russia-Ukraine war, the world saw modern tank warfare again. Heavily armored tanks were destroyed in just a few seconds. A major reason was kinetic energy-based projectiles like apfsds. The full name is Armor-Piercing Fin Stabilized Discarding Sabot. The name is difficult, but the principle is simple. This projectile is long and thin like a needle. Its front area is very small. Mass is about 4 kilograms, but speed is about 1,600 meters per second, which is 5 times the speed of sound. Its kinetic energy is about 5 million joules. Now let us understand the magic of pressure. Pressure equals force divided by area. The tip of this projectile has a diameter of only 1 centimeter, so the area is about 0.8 square centimeters. When it hits, the pressure becomes millions of atmospheres. At such pressure, steel starts flowing like a liquid. The armor melts, the projectile enters and destroys the tank from inside. There is an incident from Ukraine. An Abrams tank fired such a projectile at a Russian tank from 2.5 kilometers away. The projectile passed through the entire tank and exited from the other side, and even destroyed a truck standing behind it. Now tell me, if the mass of the projectile is doubled but the speed is halved, how will the energy change? Comment your answer. During the attacks between Iran and Israel, the world saw the capability of modern interceptor missiles. Israel's Arrow system and America's THAAD system destroy incoming ballistic missiles in mid-air, without any explosives, only by collision. This is called hit-to-kill technology. The relative speed is about 5,000 meters per second, which is 18,000 kilometers per hour. At the moment of collision, the kinetic energy is so high that both missiles break into pieces. Did you know? In the 1991 Gulf War, an American Patriot missile destroyed an Iraqi Scud missile by colliding with it. The Scud was destroyed, but one of its fragments hit an American barracks and killed 28 soldiers. Despite such accuracy, the danger does not completely go away. This is why interceptors are being made even faster and more accurate. Think about this. If a hypersonic missile is coming at 10 Mach speed and an interceptor goes at 5 Mach speed, what will be the relative speed? Will it be successful in the collision? Give your opinion in the comments. Some countries have used depleted uranium projectiles in wars, for example America in Iraq and Bosnia. Depleted uranium is 1.5 times denser than normal steel. A projectile of the same size has much more mass, and therefore more kinetic energy. When this projectile hits armor, it heats up and breaks into pieces while penetrating. These fragments spontaneously catch fire and oxygen, reaching temperatures up to 3,000 degrees Celsius. The armor melts, fire starts inside. One projectile does 3 things: penetrate, burn, and spread toxic dust. Now about health effects. According to the World Health Organization, breathing depleted uranium dust increases the risk of cancer and kidney damage. In some areas of Iraq, birth defects have increased, although debate continues. Armies still prefer it because it is cheaper than explosives and very effective. So you tell me, is it right to use such weapons in war that affect health for decades? Yes or no? Comment your answer. Now the question is, if kinetic energy weapons are so powerful, how do we defend against them? The answer is reactive armor. Both sides used it in the Russia-Ukraine war. It consists of small boxes attached to the outside of the tank. Inside each box is an explosive in a metal plate. When a kinetic projectile hits, the box explodes and the plate flies outward. This plate pushes back against the momentum of the incoming projectile, changing its angle of entry. As a result, the projectile cannot penetrate the main armor. This is a practical example of Newton's third law. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. But the race continues. Armies have developed tandem projectiles. The first part triggers and destroys the reactive armor, and the second part penetrates the real armor. Then reactive armor becomes stronger. Then projectiles become faster. This race never ends. Think about this. What if a weapon is so fast that the reactive armor does not even get time to react? That leads us to the next weapon. Rods of God. Imagine tungsten rods 6 to 10 meters long and weighing 10 tons, placed on satellites in Earth's orbit. Tungsten is an extremely dense and heavy metal. When a rod is dropped, its speed increases due to gravity, reaching more than 10,000 meters per second by the time it hits the ground. At this speed, the kinetic energy would be equal to about 500 tons of TNT explosive. That is similar to a small nuclear bomb, but without any radiation. It would only be detected when it enters the atmosphere, and by then only a few seconds would remain. America worked on Project Thor in the 1960s, but stopped due to space treaties. Now China and Russia are working on it again. In 2023, news came of a secret Chinese test. If this weapon becomes real, the balance of the world will change. Any country could attack anywhere, anytime, without warning. You tell me, should space become a battlefield? Yes or no? Write your opinion in the comments. So friends, you have seen. The principle of kinetic energy is very simple: mass and speed. But on the battlefield, this simplicity becomes a deadly weapon. Whether it is a bunker buster, a tank shell, a missile interceptor, depleted uranium, reactive armor, or a space rod, behind all of them is the same formula: KE equals sine 1/2 mv². And you also saw that the effective speed is much greater than that of mass. Double the speed, energy becomes 4 times. Triple the speed, energy becomes 9 times. Now here is the final question for you. Suppose 2 balls have the same mass. One ball is moving at 40 kilometers per hour. The other ball is moving at 120 kilometers per hour. How many times more kinetic energy does the second ball have compared to the first? The answer is 9 times, because the speed became 3 times, and 3 squared is 9. If your answer is 9, write 9 in the comments. I will read the names of 5 correct answers in the next video. In the next video, we will talk about impulse in armor, how a very short time increases force dramatically, and how bulletproof vests actually work. Understand science, because science is the biggest weapon and also the biggest shield. If you liked the video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.